tip things off by taking you into the action in the West, starting with the Utah Jazz, winners of 7 straight games. In Boston, the Jazz chalked up their 4th win in a row as they cruised to a 16-point win. Karl Malone and John Stockton were unstoppable.
What a pass. What a pass.
Next up was New Jersey, who were playing without their all-star center, Jason Williams. Utah took full advantage of the short-handed Nets, who fell to Utah for the 8th consecutive time.
And a steal. Russell ahead of the pack, race to the rim, angling in for the big slap.
The road trip continued in Milwaukee, where the Jazz cruised to an 18-point win.
Bowman behind the back flip, slammed up Karl Malone.
At home, Utah ran into a red-hot Eddie Johnson, who led Houston to an early lead.
Pass Eddie for 3. Eddie Johnson.
But the Utah Jazz battled back for the win.
For 3 for the angle left. Good.
I'm starting to feel that rhythm that I had last year or whatever. But the most important thing is we're winning. And whenever you win, everything is a little bit smoother everywhere.
Now, let's check out the action in the Pacific Division with the Los Angeles Lakers, who are back on the winning track. Reggie Miller and the Indiana Pacers invaded Los Angeles looking for their 4th straight win. But this night belonged to the LA Lakers, who snapped their 2-game losing streak behind Shaquille O'Neal's 29 points.
Fox dribble around Mullen.
What a pass! Great play by Fox.
Oh, that may be the pass of the game.
Their next big test came at home against the Spurs, where LA looked to beat San Antonio for the 3rd straight time this year.
Jack underneath, and he scores!
The Lakers prevailed for their 2nd win in a row.
Slammed up, great play. The Lakers played it so smart.
The Pistons' Grant Hill was the next superstar to come to town. But after a quick start from Hill, the Lakers took complete control of the game.
Shaq rejects Mahone. Run for cover. Shaq missed the shot. Shaq tapped it in.
And the Lakers rolled to victory.
Horry to Shaq.
I think if we could play smart, play aggressive, play together, then we're going to be a hard team to beat.
The Sonics-Timberwolves matchup featured Minnesota's talented youngsters, who got their T-Wolves off to a quick start.
Shrimp lobs it into Baker. Over Parks, blocked by Garnett. Marbury the other way. Tip is good by Garnett.
But in the second half, visiting Seattle charged back behind the hot shooting of Sam Perkins. The game went into overtime, where Gary Payton came up big for the Sonics. But the T-Wolves still had one last chance to win the game.
He lobs it into Garnett, turns and spins from the free throw line, just off the mark, and Seattle will win it.
Now a look at the playoff picture in the Western Conference. The Sonics are the first team to have clinched a playoff berth. At 47-15, they're a game and a half in front of the Jazz. With a 42-18 record, the Lakers are in 3rd, while the Spurs are in 4th. The Suns are in the 5th spot, with the Blazers in 6th. The Timberwolves are in the 7th position, while the Rockets hold down the 8th and final playoff spot. The Kings are in 9th place, 5.5 games out of the final playoff spot. Now let's log on to NBA.com, where we check out 2 players who've returned from injuries. Cleveland rookie Derek Anderson made his return to the Cavs lineup after missing 4 weeks with a sprained right knee.
Derek Anderson will swing the 3 in rhythm.
He's a guy that's going to come out and give us a lot of energy. Yeah, as you can see tonight, he's a guy that really lifts us.
I think his return gave us a little bit more spirit and a little bit more energy. And I think this team needed that when he came back. I think we were more excited, and I think we was more energetic out there tonight.
Chicago's Steve Kerr, who'd been sidelined for 7 weeks with a broken collarbone, also returned. His first action came on the road against the New York Knicks.
Wastes no time unleashing a 3 and hitting it. Wow.
Next up, a memorable milestone for the Rockets, Eddie Johnson. Houston's veteran guard is the 31st player in NBA history to score 19,000 points.
Eddie Johnson puts up a 3, and there it is. 19,000 points for Eddie Johnson.
Next, the NBA announced its Player of the Week. Karl Malone won the honor for the 3rd time this season after averaging 32 points a game. The mailman's great play led the Jazz to 4 road wins.
Karl Malone so difficult to stop.
I think everything has to go through Karl. You don't say, hey, it's all on your shoulders.
big fella, take us home. But it's you have to start there. He's our bread and butter guy, and the ball has to go to him.
Now it's time for our viewer email. This week's question comes to us from Kareem Awad from Tripoli, Lebanon, who asks, how many countries other than the United States are represented in the NBA? There are 29 players representing 22 countries, including Akeem Olajuwon, who's from Nigeria. Other superstars include Atlanta's Dikembe Mutombo, a native of Zaire. One of the younger international stars is San Antonio Spurs rookie forward Tim Duncan, who hails from the Virgin Islands. Coming up next, we'll go back into the action in the Eastern Conference, where the Charlotte Hornets are the league's hottest team. Then, we'll check in on a legendary hot shot.
Hangs the shot up there, rimming good from 8 feet away. Michael Jordan.
Hi, I'm Shane Battier, and you're watching NBA TV.
Iowa State. Shane gets the step against Garrity and lays it in a free.
A nice behind-the-back dribble by Minnesota point guard Stephon Marbury.
Behind the back drive.
Oh, man! I don't know where that play came from, but special plays are made by special people. And this young man here is very special.
Now we head back into the action in the Eastern Conference, starting in the Atlantic Division with a red-hot Miami Heat. Winners of 9 straight on the road, Pat Riley's team took their hot streak into Houston and dominated the Rockets.
Shot inside and the slam, and Brent Berry gets a great pass from Marley.
And just when it seemed like Houston was getting back into the game, Miami responded.
Oh, there's Roderick Rhodes with a steal of Hardaway. Now he drives on Hardaway, and it's blocked by P.J. Brown, and Hardaway brings it back the other way. Marley sets for the three. Got it. There's so many weapons for Miami.
2 nights later, the Heat faced a tough test from Dallas, but Dan Marley put the game out of reach.
And then a pitch out to Marley for 3. It's in. Dan Marley with a cold-blooded 3.
We're fighting to try to get that #1 seed in the East. We get that #1 seed, and we're right on the heels of Indiana, Chicago. If we come together like we've had the past couple of weeks, we can be successful from here on out.
With Penny Hardaway still sidelined, Orlando faced Cleveland, the team they're battling for a playoff spot. The Cavs led by 3, but the Magic had one last shot.
6 seconds left. He's double-teamed. Fired it up. Bank shot! Oh, do you believe in miracles?
After Nick Anderson's shot forced in overtime, Derek Harper took over for the Magic.
They swing to Harper. He'll step into a 2. Got it.
Orlando took the lead by 2. And now, it was the Cavs' turn to try a last-second shot.
1.3 left. Cavs out of timeouts. Knight the inbound. Quick shot. Person 3. It's over.
Now, let's check out the action in the Central Division, where Chicago looked to snap Miami's 11-game road winning streak. Michael Jordan and the Bulls were ready for their showdown against the Atlantic Division leading Miami Heat. And Chicago was in command right from the start.
Here comes Pippen. To Michael Jordan.
Yeah, MJ was really burning the heat, and he got some great support from his teammates.
To Pippen.
The Bulls cruised to an easy win as Michael scored 37.
Jordan again, that same move we've seen over and over again.
No one's been hotter than Dave Cowens' Hornets, and Charlotte kept on rolling this week, beginning with a win at home against Minnesota.
Right, with Garnett on the drive over Robert.
Helping to key the Hornets' 6th straight win were role players like Corey Beck, who provided some tough defense.
Beck with the steal. Hammond trying to catch up, alters the shot, but it still goes down.
2 nights later, the Seattle Sonics were in town, but the Hornets rose to the challenge, beating the team with the best in the NBA.
Rice passes on the backcourt. Ahead to Bobby Phills. He'll skip a low to Geiger. He'll lay it up and in. He's fouled by Baker, and Geiger will go to the line.
If we can continue that flow like that, be on the same page, we're going to be a dangerous team.
And Charlotte kept it going in New Jersey, beating the Nets for their 8th straight win.
Hornets break out. The leak out by Phills. The two-handed dunk.
The red-hot Charlotte Hornets now find themselves in 4th place in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. The Chicago Bulls are on top with the best record in the East. The Miami Heat are the second seed because they lead the Atlantic Division. The Indiana Pacers are third, while the Atlanta Hawks are fifth. The New York Knicks are the sixth seed, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are the seventh. The New Jersey Nets and Washington Wizards are tied for the eighth and final seed, with the Orlando Magic close behind. All right, it's time for Hot Shots, where we highlight one of the best performances of the week. Michael Jordan's produced many magical moments during his career, but playing in New York brings out his best.
Vintage Michael.
This week, Michael wore shoes from his rookie season for what may have been his last game in New York.
And it's like stepping on stage with an act. If you're a real basketball player, they honor that. They show the respect for that.
And the New York fans would see another dazzling show from his airness.
Jordan. And nothing more beautiful than watching him play.
The feeling that MJ's about ready to take this over offensively the way he looks out there.
Here comes Michael. Spinning in the lane for the slam. Nice.
Yeah, MJ was pulling out his entire arsenal against Jeff Van Gundy's Knicks. And he stepped up his offensive barrage in the second half.
There's no stopping that one.
Jordan guarded by Houston.
Slithers through the lane and hits with the left hand. Michael in traffic.
Well, I like what we're seeing here, Bob.
Jordan scored 27 points in the second half.
Jordan nearly falls and the shot's going to fall.
That was nice.
Nice is an understatement.
I came in to play hard, you know, and so it's kind of fun to come back here and play and remember some of the old days and some of the things that, some of the games that I've had here. Today we came out and I think we played a good all-around basketball game for a good period of the game.
Leading the Chicago Bulls to victory, Jordan delivered yet another classic performance in Madison Square Garden. He scored 42 points on 17 of 33 shooting. MJ's well on his way to a 10th NBA scoring title. He's currently averaging 28.5 points a game. Utah's Karl Malone is second, averaging over 26 points a contest. The Kings' Mitch Richmond is third. He's followed by the Bucks' Glenn Robinson and the Hornets' Glenn Rice.